Check it out.
Oh, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, thinkers, street philosophers, and professional opinion havers, welcome to the blackest table ever, where the conversations are raw, the wisdom is street certified, and the truth wears no makeup. My name is Tian Gang, but you can just call me Gang, your late night confidant, the unfiltered voice of reason, the man your conscience warned you about, but your curiosity couldn't resist. Tonight, we are leaving no stone unturned, so grab a seat, secure your ego, and let's get into this. It is the Black Table. Now, returning to the table like a seasoned veteran, he's smooth on the mic and even smoother in conversations, a broadcaster by craft, a sweet talker by nature, and depending on who you ask, a recovering ladies' man, making his second appearance on the Black Table. Please welcome the one and only Moyo Lagos.
Oh my goodness, recovering ladies' man. I was at the ladies' man anonymous meeting yesterday. I think I'm done. I've recovered. Yeah, so I'm good. Thank you for that.
Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you so much, gang.
Yes. Now, from the narrow streets of, they call me the mayor of Agungi. I'm here. My reputation precedes me, but hey, I'm hosting the Black Table tonight. Finally, a host worth watching and staying up late for. Now, joining us for the second time as well, but this time he didn't come to play. Last time he kept it mellow. Tonight, he's turning up the heat. Certified relationship expert, life coach, and owner of more cool hats than your favorite stylist, a man of wisdom, calm delivery, and quiet fire. Welcome back to the Black Table, the one and only Andre Ogbewele. Andre, you're welcome back to the Black Table. Great to have you. Really enjoyed you the last time.
No, thank you.
And of course, that's why you're here for a second time. Okay. And hopefully we'll have you here more times as well.
All right,
All right, so this is the Black Table. Get your favorite libations on. When we come back, we go straight into our quick fires. And then, before the show wraps up, we'll hit our major topic. Don't go anywhere. Keep it on TVC.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18 he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like B. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor, Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Then, on April 28, 1967, citing his religious beliefs, Ali refused induction into the U.S. Army at the height of the Vietnam War. Ali was stripped of his championship and precluded from fighting by
All right, you're welcome back to the Black Table. Apologies for the slight delay. It took a while to load our drinks. Hope it didn't take you that long to load your drinks. And it also took us a while to bring this man to the bar. A man that never passed the bar. That's why he's not a lawyer. But today he's at the bar. Mr. Olamide Jean-Luc. He joins us on the Black Table.
You've always wanted to do that.
Welcome, Olamide.
And perhaps I deserve it.
Welcome, Olamide.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
I'm at the bar today, and as you can see, the bar is neater than usual.
How does it feel?
Hey, good one.
How does it feel?
Yeah.
The right man is at the bar.
Yeah, I like that. The right man on my left. Tonight on the Black Table, R. Kelly's fiance proposes to the embattled singer while he is serving light jail time. While some folks went, "Oh," others are in search of a mental institute to check her into. We also look at the alarming rise of entertainers serving jail terms. All right, and for our hot topic, we will be looking at the rising case of femicide in Nigeria. Is our major concern tonight, and this is what we're talking about. The question falls upon us: should Nigerian women in Nigeria be allowed to carry firearms, weapons for protection? Good news, guys. You can also get to be part of the show by calling in tonight, because we will be opening up our phone lines live. 0201-635-2013. I'll take that again. 0201-635-2013 or 0201-635-2014. So hold on to your hats, because it's about to be a bumper ride tonight. All right, so we're going to go straight into our first quick fire and pick the minds of these gentlemen as well. In a world where love often goes unheard of, not even prison bars can mute a heartbeat. Jocelyn Savage, the long-rumored fiancé of R. Kelly, has stepped forward on her own terms. In a recent video, she shared that she proposed to the incarcerated R&B singer, pushing back against years of headlines that painted her as a hostage. Her declaration adds another twist to a story already tangled in controversy. R. Kelly, now serving a 30-year sentence for racketeering, sexual exploitation, and human trafficking, remains at the center of public scrutiny. But in Jocelyn's eyes, he's still the man she plans to marry. Wow. Why are so many of black male entertainers ending up on the wrong side of the law? From Gunna to Tory Lanez, from R. Kelly to recently P. Diddy. Maybe one day, Olamide. The list goes on and on and on, longer every year. Is this a pattern of poor personal choices and unchecked power, or is it a part of a bigger system that builds on black men only to tear them down when they reach too high? Are we witnessing accountability, or are we watching yet another public lynching in digital form? And even deeper, we keep going and going and going. Now, it's time for you to for us to open up the phone lines, and then feel free to call us. But there's a video we'd like you to catch so that it brings you up to speed in our discussions. Check this out.
Jocelyn Savage. I'm 29 years old, and I'll be 30 next month. I just want to come out here shortly to let you guys know that I am not a victim. I've been with Robert for 10 years. He has been incarcerated for 6 years, and I have seen him every weekend for the past 6 years. Just 3 years ago, I proposed to Robert, and he said yes. And we are planning on getting married and having a family, and I'm very excited about that. But anyways, I just want to come out here and let you guys know to please do not believe the lies that my mother and father are coming out here saying about me and Robert. I am not held against my will. I am not a sex slave. I am not brainwashed or any of those crazy lies that were told on me. And I just want Robert to get the righteous justice that he deserves, because he deserves to be free. Enough is enough. I'm tired, and he's tired as well. So I just want you guys to continue to...
Oh my.
All right, you've heard from her. You've seen her caption. You've heard what she has to say. Let's pick the mind of Andre first. What are your thoughts on this? You know R. Kelly's situation. You've seen this woman that says, forget what her parents are saying. She's openly consenting to this.
Well, from my standpoint, right, as a therapist, you know, victims, right, get to a point that they start to believe in the aggressor, right?
Yeah.
So there's this attraction now to him. So again, that's my thought, right? So there's this attraction to him, hence why she would propose to him. After years of trauma, you start to fall in line. So I think she's brainwashed. I don't know.
You think she's brainwashed?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Moya, what are your thoughts? I know you look like an R. Kelly fan.
First of all, no, I've canceled that dude. But what I'm saying here is that sometimes you just need to accept that some people are freaks, right? They like certain kind of things, right? And maybe she got that with R. Kelly. I mean, you know, maybe she likes, you know, he was peeing on teenagers and stuff like that. Maybe that's what she likes. Also, based on what he said, it could just be a classic case of Stockholm syndrome, right? You know, she's used to that, and she's just like, oh, this is my supreme leader, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
She was never a victim. You see, and this whole R. Kelly thing, I'd always been on the side.
Okay.
And the reason being that I'm not such a big fan of what happened to him. I feel that a lot of people were not held accountable for the things that let happen, especially Jocelyn's parents. They handed Jocelyn over to R. Kelly when she was very young, especially knowing fully well that he has a track record of certain, you know, proclivities.
Yeah.
These things were public. They were known.
True.
You understand? And many parents were guilty handing over their children to people like R. Kelly based on the fact that they wanted fame and they wanted money to come with the fame. Now, Jocelyn, whether she willingly or she was manipulated in a way to get into whatever situation she is in, I think at a particular point in time when her parents came out crying foul and everything, she stayed true to the same thing. She's always said she's not a victim. She's always said, I love this guy. She's always said, you know what, she doesn't see anything or she doesn't know this version. And yes, it could be, you know.
But guess what? That's what a victim will say.
No, but that's what a victim will say. But at the same time now, I want us to also know that R. Kelly has been incarcerated for what, like 6 years?
I didn't even know it was up to 6 years.
And she's been visiting him, like she said, every weekend.
Okay.
The only thing is that he said yes, but they are not married.
Yeah, but because I can't say certain things, right? I've dealt with clients that have been in not exactly this type of situation, right? But in a situation similar to this.
Yeah.
You know, trapped in a situation for 10 to 12 years with the delusion that, you know, I'm in love with this guy cares about me.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah.
You get me? Yes, nobody is going to take away the faults of the parents. Even I sat on the fence for a while. You get me? Yes, he has some extracurricular activities that he involves himself in. The whole world knew about this. But yet, parents took their daughters to him.
Yeah.
And guess what? He was even gentleman enough to wait till they cross 18. Some of them 21. Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard? Yeah. True. He actually let them be, you know, to a certain age.
Wait, there's literally a video of him peeing on an underage girl.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so
allegedly.
I'm not, it's not alleged. It was
alleged.
It's not alleged.
Again, I'm talking about this circumstance, right? That's why I said, you know, he has his, you know, side whatever.
For me, let me just say this. I'm surprised that he actually was the only one that went to prison. I thought some other people would have been involved. But apparently we have somebody calling us on the phone lines. We told you today is fresh. When I'm hosting, what else do you expect? So we have somebody from Delta State that's watching the show live. So let's put them on and find out what they have to say. All the way from Delta. Interesting. And I'm looking like I'm dressed like a Delta man myself
yes,
today.
you is.
Stars align.
All right. Hello. All right, so apparently from Delta, their table is not as black as ours, but hopefully they'll still be able to call in as the show goes on.
Okay.
So to get back to what I was saying, I was surprised that R. Kelly is the only person that was in prison because other people have been involved in this situation.
Yeah.
Like Olamide highlighted, some parents gave a level of consent. There were some other people on his team that knew what was going on. And the long story short, but he's in jail. He's facing 30 years. He's been there 6. Now, another thing that we're looking at is, despite the fact that she's been visiting R. Kelly, she proposed.
Exactly.
He didn't propose.
She did.
She has proposed to him, and he has accepted. For a man that has been in jail for 6 years, you would accept anything that comes your way.
Of course. That's the best it's going to get.
So I just want to flip the script and ask you guys this question. Would you ever say, okay, I think our caller is back. Hello? Hello, talk to us. You are live on TVC's Black Table. All right, we're going to move on. Some of those things might be happening in between. We know how the networks are in Nigeria, which will get better soon. But would any of you guys ever accept a female proposal? You're married, I know that. You are not. Let me start with you, Moyo. Would you accept a female proposal?
If I love her, yeah, and I do see a future, of course, yes, I would. It's not that.
So why would you wait for her to
So why would you wait for her to propose to you?
Maybe I was a bit busy. Also, it's not first come, first serve. Like, anybody can do it. We're grown adults.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this like a culture thing?
Where's the
No, it's not even about that. It's
Okay,
not
so
a
what's the
culture
problem?
thing.
Yeah.
You claim to love someone, yet you're too busy to propose to that person.
How do you know I wasn't going to propose next tomorrow? You don't know. I might have been thinking about it. And then she came on Friday and I was like, oh, yeah, I was going to do this on Sunday.
So you have to be in a specific place to accept the proposal. Not that you just accept a proposal from anyone.
Of course not. No, we have to love each other. I have to know that there's a future here. And
But if you were not ready.
If I'm not ready, I'll say no. Life is not hard like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say no.
But if you were ready, the question would be, so why haven't you proposed?
If I'm ready, you have to plan for certain things. Where you're going to do the proposal, who you're going to call, all of that kind of stuff. But if she blindsides me and stuff,
so we're going to put Moyo's number on the screen later on, ladies. If
please
in case
don't
you want
do
to
that.
propose.
I'm a recovering ladies man. You just said
but
that.
we have Kunle from Victoria Island on the line. Hello, Kunle. Welcome to the Black Table. All right, that's Tone. Not Kunle. Tone. I've told Tony to stop calling us. But Tone, thank you for the call. Kunle, feel free to call back. We know the Black Table has numbers for you to call, so you might experience some of these glitches here and there. Yeah. But we're here for you live on TVC.
Yeah.
You proposed to your wife.
Of course I did.
If she had proposed to you.
But you see, that would have been impossible because first, when we started courtship, right? I already told her that, okay, you know what, XYZ time frame is when I'm going to propose. So I courted her for a while. And then I proposed. Now, you're saying that being blindsided, that's impossible because you have same circle of friends when it comes to proposals, right? If you were planning a proposal already, your friends would have put a stop to it and hinted you to step up.
All right.
So I was
real quick, guys, Kunle from VI is back on the line. He's taking time to call us. Kunle, can you hear me? Hi, Kunle.
Yeah, good evening.
All right, welcome to the Black Table. You're officially our first caller tonight.
Yay.
Glad to have you. All right, Kunle, talk to us.
So good to get through tonight.
You
guys are doing good.
Thank you so much, Kunle.
Appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
I don't have much to say about your topic today, but just to hear you guys. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you so much, Kunle. God bless you.
Good night.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. A caller, a viewer, we appreciate all your calls. You can also call the lines right now, just like Kunle did all the way from Victoria Island. We are live, and you can call from anywhere in the world.
I think Kunle is definitely going to call back. We still have a few things to say.
Thank you for the appreciation. Olamide, I know for a fact you wouldn't accept a proposal from a female. Your alphaness is just so strong.
It's not about being alpha. I think that if a woman has to propose to a guy, then the guy doesn't really want her. And the reason why I'm saying this is that in your littleness or in your, whatever situation you're in, a man traditionally dictates certain things. And we met it that way. And it is most likely going to continue that way. And the reason is that in every relationship, or should I say in most relationships around the world, traditionally and culturally, a man takes the lead. Yeah. And the man determines how things are played out. So when it comes to long-term commitment, when it comes to a marriage, when it comes to a courtship, a formal courtship, if the man hasn't taken the lead, that means he doesn't see it happening. And if the lady has to prompt him by doing that,
and it can affect the relationship later on down the line.
Definitely.
First of all, that for me is it's very fragile.
All right. We have our caller from Delta. We'll wrap this up in a bit before we move to our main topic. But my Delta State brother is on the line. Hello from Delta. Welcome to the Black Table. Hello, you're live on the Black Table on TVC.
Okay.
All the way from Delta State. What is your name?
Good evening, bro. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. What is your name?
Good evening. I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you, but I don't know if my studio guys can hear you. Yeah, so just focus on the television and talk to us. Can you guys hear it?
No.
All right, so, okay, I can hear you, but my gentleman on the Black Table can't hear you in the studio. So feel free to call us back. The numbers are still available for you. Let the conversation continue. So I was trying to pick up from where Olamide was talking about and this whole R. Kelly situation of being proposed to. I would say the takeaway from this, first and foremost, is don't go to jail. Don't find yourself in jail.
Don't get caught.
Don't get my goodness.
Imagine yourself.
Don't get
let
caught.
me see. Listen,
because there are many people out there.
You made certain statements. Olamide made certain statements, and so did Moyo.
Yeah.
If you've been in jail for 6 years, with just men around you, no Black Table, no libation, 6 years of just men.
I get you.
Trust me, if a dog called and said woof woof, you say I do.
You're gonna jump on that.
You get me?
So don't go.
So don't go to the moral of the story.
Don't do things that
will
take you to jail.
That will take you to jail. And like Olamide said, if you do those things, try not to get caught.
Okay.
You know.
I'd say that.
So on that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up another story before our hot topic tonight. It's the Black Table live on TVC.
Entertainment for me, first of all, I say it's a vocation, it's work for me, it's a way of life that brings about merriment, relaxation, and it's happiness, it's everything good put together. Anything at all just to make you happy, give you joy, make you laugh, make you dance. Entertainment is a way of life for AY.
Welcome back to the Black Table on TVC. We are live, and of course, you can call into the studio and make your contributions. We're going straight into our hot topic tonight. According to the United Nations, every 10 minutes, a woman is killed a sobering statistic that underscores the global crisis of gender-based violence. Now, in 2023, Africa bore the highest burden of intimate partner and family-related femicide in the world, with 21,700 women tragically losing their lives. In Nigeria, femicide continues to be an issue that is frequently underreported, normalized, or dismissed. In Nigeria, 401 women reportedly died as a result of sexual and gender-based violence in 2022 alone. According to data from the DOHS Femicide Dashboard, there were 135 femicide incidents resulting in 149 deaths in 2024. That's just last year. As of the time of this report, there have been 17 incidents and 19 deaths in 2025. That's this year. Sholola died from injuries inflicted on her by her husband, Kazim Sholola, who poured hot oil on her body and stabbed her in the head in January, Ogun State. Salome Adeidu, killed by Ajayi, who butchered her January 14th in Nasarawa State. Lawal, 20s, dismembered his Islamic cleric, Abdurrahman Bello, suspected boyfriend, February 10 in Ilorin, Kwara State. This is sad. The streets are not safe, and the numbers don't lie. Over 65 women reportedly murdered this year alone, mostly by boyfriends, husbands, or so-called families. At this point, do we start telling women to legally arm themselves? Should firearm ownership be normalized for self-defense in Nigeria, especially for women? Listen to this.
I think that all females should have something to protect themselves. Maybe something like, okay, pepper sprays, knife, pocket knives, but giving them guns, giving us guns is too extreme.
No offense to women, they can get irrational, sometimes emotional and illogical.
Yeah, I think they should legalize it. I would actually buy one if they do.
A gun is a deadly weapon. You can't play with that. That's a life.
Sometimes when I walk alone, because I go to work, on my way back, I need to turn, I need to check. If someone is walking too close to me, I need to move. And I don't have things on me. I can't protect myself if someone should kidnap me at that moment.
Yes, especially in Lagos, especially where I live, Aja, under bridge, they should give us guns to walk around that area. It's not safe for us at all.
And, we are really the weaker sex. So it wouldn't be bad if we have guns or not. Don't you think?
No, they are too emotional. They will kill everybody. Even they will kill both the innocent ones. People that didn't do them anything. They will shoot you for being a man.
You should give us guns. Please give females guns. We need it.
Because a man did something wrong to them. Please don't.
All right, you can contribute tonight to the show live 020163520013 or 020163520014. I'm going to start with the ladies' man on the black table. What are your thoughts, Moyo? Do you think women should be armed with guns?
This is such a loaded conversation. I think it runs deeper than just giving guns. We have to understand why situations like this even happen in the first place. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but we do live in a patriarchal society. Let's start with that. And we need to ask ourselves, why do men think, again, because the statistics speaks for itself. So this is not just me postulating, right? Why do men feel like they have a right to women's bodies via rape? Because when it comes to femicide, that's the most extreme form of gender-based violence. So we have to look at the precursor to that. Okay, we were talking about rape. We're talking about men even just beating women, their wives and stuff like that. In many regards, when you hear, oh, a man beat his wife in Nigeria, and even like generally, they say, oh, that's a domestic issue. Let's just let that happen.
Okay.
We've seen situations. We've seen situations like I can't remember her name, the gospel singer who was beat to death by her husband. And it's not the first time, right? It's not the first time that has happened. So it runs deeper than that. It's cultural in a sense, and even in some cases legal. I remember reading somewhere that there was a time where even religiously they would say, oh, a man can discipline his wife by beating her.
No.
In some religions, I know what I'm saying. In some religions.
So what you're saying, you support that women should be armed?
I'm not saying it should be armed. I'm saying I don't think they should be armed. I'm saying that we need to sort of peel back some of these things in society that make men think it's okay to beat women, or that they have a right to access their bodies with rape. Because again, the thing with rape is that I always tell people that rape it's almost like a power dynamic thing. You know, you feel like, oh, I'm stronger than you. If I want you, you should give yourself to me, right? It's a power play thing, right? And that comes from us believing and saying that, oh, men are the predominant sex, or the more powerful sex.
Alpha.
The alpha sex. You understand what I'm saying? And everybody has their strengths, right? You might be able to beat the woman, you know, but she has her strengths in other areas where men lack, you know, more of like the vulnerability and the emotional care and the nurturing energy, right? So it's not like any sex is higher than any other one. And again, I'm not talking from a religious perspective or a cultural perspective. This is just my principles and my views. And
but as a ladies' man, would you want your ladies to be armed?
No, I wouldn't. I want us to all sit around at a table and talk about why men think they can get away with things like this, and how we can raise men to not do these things.
I'm gonna pick from some of his points after I hear from you.
You just said something. You ended with raise men, but guess what? Men are not raised.
What are they?
Take note of this. When you were growing up, right? Your parents focus on the ladies, right? Do the dishes, cook the food, sweep the floor. But for the guys, what? Because now we're talking about the real problem behind it, right? It's because from when men start to grow up, right, they don't raise men. They don't tell them to be part of the workforce at home, do domestic chores, do this. You are not to treat a woman this way. You see, that part is what is missing. That's the real.
I understand what you're talking about.
That's why I said picking from where you ended. Right? Now that is the real cause of it. Now
I don't 100%.
Oh no, it is.
I don't
traditionally,
but at the same time, I think there's more to that, because I feel society has molded men in such a way that even if you had that type of upbringing whereby your folks insisted that you take care of certain responsibilities, it depends on what page you're on. Because there are a lot of young men who had the right foundation, you know, raised by great parents. They give them everything. They teach them what it means to be accountable, responsibility, what not to do and what to do at certain times and everything. And a lot of times there are certain men who step out of all of that, all that home training, all that upbringing, step out of it, and then they do the most ugly and the most ridiculous things.
You know, we've had
they learned that from somewhere.
No, but here's the thing.
That's the thing.
There was something Deck has said this on the show before about the boy child. When it comes to raising the boy child, like you said, it's a patriarchal society. So there's this notion that women need to be raised on how to treat men and how to handle men. Men are not being raised that way.
They're not.
That's true.
Men are just tossed into the wild and be like, you're a man. It's your world.
We learn from what we see. You get me? We learn from what we see. You see, most of these things, you talk about traditional, how it has been, the patriarchy. Listen, they were taught you can only educate someone based on the knowledge you have on something, right? So from their point of view, it has always been like that. Women are the weakest sex. Women, they even take a quote from the Bible and turn it to suit them and say they should be submissive. After all, the Bible says you should be submissive. In the first place, that verse even has nothing to do with men. But let's not even go into that, right? So they are taught that women are men. Oh yeah, that's the truth. We could dive into that. But you see, men have been taught that they are the alphas. You know, women should be submissive. They are in charge of the house. Whatever they say goes. You see, they've never taught them how to be men.
True.
So we just learn.
So what does it mean to be a man in today's world? Because
in today's world, to be a man, biblically, right, means the guardian over your household.
Over your household,
yes. Okay. If you are a guardian, you don't hurt people.
You protect.
You protect. Do you understand?
Word.
So that's where we're missing it. So that in itself is the real issue.
I'm going to write that down.
There's something
I'm going to write that down.
I'm
going to write that down.
I like what you said, that you don't hurt. But then there's the notion that hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
So some men have been hurt.
Yes.
I don't want to take that away from some men. Some men have been abused.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And they transfer that aggression, not to justify it.
Yeah.
And you know, women take the brunt of most of this abuse.
Yes.
You get where I'm coming from? So now, the question, long story is, how do we protect our women? The suggestion now is, should we let them be armed? See, what effect do you think it would have if we arm women? Let me start with Olamide first of all. Okay. Olamide, what effect do you think it will have if we arm our women?
I do know that road rage is something I'll be worried about. So when I'm driving and I see a woman driving next to me, I'll start greeting her before anything, like, hi, hello, hello. So you see, I think there's no society in the world that you want to legalize and arm women. And the reason is that both genders were different. I will be rational about certain choices, certain decisions. But I'm not saying women are not rational. In fact, there are a lot of women who are very rational. But there are also a lot of women who are very spontaneous in reaction. Like, you know, something happens and then they make choices. One of my favorite channels is the crime channel. I watch it a lot. And, you know, I watch this series called...
Women love that channel.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I'm going to tell you this.
A lot of times when I'm watching it and then you hear some of the things women do, and for the reasons they do it, I get scared. Because, you know, they react rather than trying to, you know, deal and resolve
because they are emotional.
Because they're emotional beings.
Can I even say something? I don't think this is even a gender thing. I think everybody's emotional. It's just the way it's expressed.
Oh,
right?
No.
What I'm even saying here is, we know men who are hot-headed and they got angry and they came out of the car and shot somebody. Right? That's also emotional. It's just very gangster. You know what I mean? Right. So it's not about the gender. You look at America, you can just pop into a gun store and get you a gun.
All right, we have a caller from Badagry. Let's hear the caller's contribution. All right, Patrick, welcome to the Black Table, all the way from Badagry. Patrick, what's your contribution to our discussion tonight?
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. It's very wrong for a man to be beating our wife every time, because it's a very wrong idea. Because yes, it's very wrong. Because yes, even I have to at my place every time he likes beating his wife. Why?
All right, Patrick, can I put you on the spot? So you know that this person beats his wife. What have you done to affect the situation? If you know this man beats his wife.
When you intervene, don't say you want to intervene into the matter. If you take it so serious, what's your problem between him and his wife? You see? It is very wrong.
All right. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your contribution. I'm sure we all agree with Patrick. It is wrong. And can I be honest with you? As finicky as I am to join the bandwagon and say women should be armed, I've asked myself this question. I have 2 daughters. You have a daughter as well. I don't know. Do you have a daughter?
Yeah.
If your daughter...
When you ask daughters, it doesn't just know.
It doesn't know yet. Okay, check this out. Not your daughter, your sister, a cousin, your mother.
I have nieces.
Do you understand? Females in your life. If a female in your life came to you and said, I just shot somebody, I killed somebody that was trying to hurt me, that was trying to take my life. Do you understand? How would you feel about that? Wouldn't you? Let me start with you. In that situation, can you now say, I support women being armed?
I do not support women being armed because, see, they are emotional. Let's go with statistics, right? Men are logical beings. Women are emotional, right? Most 90% of the road rages are women. Right? They react on the spot. You could step on them and she pulls out a gun and she shoots for no justification whatsoever. I would never advise it.
Let's even now come down to simpler terms. In situations whereby, you're in a relationship, you're dating a woman, and then you being a guy, maybe you're friendly, you're open, and then you're just being you, and then she sees a situation she doesn't understand. A guy will wait to find out more information. A woman will react immediately.
She'll react.
Now imagine if we have a situation where women are weaponized, they have all of these things, and then they react Man, gang, you will be here right now.
Yeah, but guess what? The tables will turn.
Exactly.
The tables will turn. We'll have more male deaths.
First of all, we
already have more male deaths than females.
Hold on, but the male deaths are not caused by females.
No, what?
All right, so listen. I'm saying we sit here. We sit here and we say women are more emotional because of road rage. Look at the statistics on femicide.
Okay,
is that not emotions at play?
Yes, it's emotions.
So how do we sit here and say because of road rage, women are more emotional than men?
Not just
but
road
also,
rage.
let's look at this. Let's look at this.
Okay, but it doesn't cost people their lives.
Gentlemen,
this is dangerous.
Gentlemen on the black table.
This is dangerous, but giving them a gun makes it worse.
Gentlemen on the black table.
Give anybody a gun,
gentlemen on the black table.
Anybody.
Gentlemen on the black table.
Sorry, I apologize.
These statistics that you're seeing on the screen could have been avoided if these women were armed. Joining us on the black table.
They had a taser.
Now, here's the funny. Now, tasers can do so much.
Yeah.
There's a lady that's joining us on the black table tonight. She was with us last week as well. Fumi, she has been watching the show. She's been listening to us. Welcome to the black table again, Fumi. It's great to have you. She's joining us via Zoom, by the way. And don't forget, you can also call and make your contributions. So Fumi should be on the Zoom line to join us live on the black table and make her contributions. I would love to know if Fumi is armed or considers arming herself to stay safe in this Nigerian society. Hello, Fumi. Speak to us. You are live via Zoom. This is the black table. All right, as Fumi tries. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Fumi. Go ahead.
No, first of all, I'm not armed.
Good.
Thank God. I intend to be armed. I thank you for the stats. Thanks to your producer, to the team for talking about this topic. It's a very valid one. But I still don't think women should be armed. And it has nothing to do with the emotional thing. I don't like all those arguments about men and women being more emotional than men. That's, for me, is not the argument. I think it still comes back to the safety of the women. So one is the fact that when the aggressor knows that you have a gun, even in the time when he was not planning to kill you, because he knows that he can be killed now that you have a gun and you have something to defend yourself with, the rates are going to be higher. He's going to ensure that he kills you because he knows that if he doesn't do that, you're going to be killed. For me,
very valid.
I don't think that's a good idea. And then women are harassed. Femicide, is death, but so I will speak of myself. I've been in a bus and someone is touching me inappropriately. I've been in the market and someone has smacked my bum, trader, different things. Now imagine if I have a gun, and it has absolutely nothing to do with being emotional. It's the fact that I'm here and I think I can defend myself. So I will shoot down this guy in the bus. There will be more, there'll be more deaths. I'll shoot down the guy in the bus. I'll shoot down the guy in the. It's for me. It's so great. Able to defend themselves. Maybe pepper spray. Go into karate classes. But I feel like women are attacked all the time. And I'm giving my own personal example here. Traffic before, because I was driving alone, this guy just came to the window, and I know because there were other cars before me that he didn't stop. And immediately, just as I was just a few minutes alone in the car, he came to me and was trying to. My window was wound up, but not all the way up because the AC wasn't on. And he was trying to use his hand to pull down. It was like threatening me and doing all of that. Thankfully, I had pepper spray, in the car, and that kind of like deterred him. And then there was space, and then I was able to move in traffic. But I still don't think that women should own guns. We should go more. I like what your guests have talked about how we need to reorientate men, talk more about it in religious houses and cultural spaces, because that's like the foundation of the culture, the Nigerian society. In religious space, cultural spaces, and then more women should take more defense classes. There was a video I saw recently. I didn't even know this topic. I think like 2 days ago. Maybe it's been a while back, but there was this 80-something-year-old woman that somebody broke into her house. But because she worked hard and could defend herself, she had bruises on her face quite all right. But the guy couldn't do anything to her because she was able to beat the guy. So I think more women should become that. But you see, by the time it comes to love, look at the man that killed his wife, poured hot oil on her. And you guys talked about the Stockholm syndrome, trauma bonding with your aggressor. Many women, even if they have the gun, probably even hand the gun over to the aggressor, will not be able to defend themselves.
Okay, so
I think there are other things and policies that we can begin to look at and other ways we can, because generally, even in the world, the UN is even has talked about the fact that firearms have contributed more to the death of women, to this feminist, in other places like Latin America and all of that. So bringing it to Nigeria will just make it worse, and to get even back into the arms of the men that you're trying to protect the women. So I don't think it's a good idea. So we should just look at other policies, cultural, religious, sensitizing, and especially of how
sensitizing the men.
Men, exactly, and even the women that raise.
Yes.
Guess what? Many people that have killed people, abusers, they have most of their enablers are women. Their mothers, their sisters, people who
enablers.
So we need a lot of education, not just for the men, for the women. So I think when we work on that, that will help a lot more than having women have firearms.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fumi.
I'm just going to say something.
All right. Fumi, thank you so much for that contribution. And apologies on what you experienced in the market and in the bus as well. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for your contribution. I'm going to be honest with you. My wife was robbed in Lagos traffic sometime last year. If she had shot that person, I would have supported her 100%. I'm just saying. If she had if she had a gun and had shot that guy, I would have supported her 100%. But I understand where you're coming from. The sensitization will be there. And statistics show that anyone that owns a gun is more likely to get shot.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
That's so true.
All right. Thank you so much, Fumi, for your contribution. Gentlemen.
That's great. I was going to ask a weird question.
Go ahead. Ask a question because we're going to go straight to the tip
if you were in
that
the bus,
Olamide is going to give us.
If you were in the bus and a man was groping you guys and you had a gun, would you shoot him?
No, I would
No.
Okay, fair.
I wouldn't.
That was random,
so you know what? Let me go around the table, starting with Andre, and let's have some final points here before Olamide gives us the tip at the bar today. What are your thoughts on this? You heard what Fumi said. You heard what some of our callers said as well. From Badagry.
Which is what I was saying, right? Root of the problem. Let's start to raise men, not boys, right? Let's start to raise men by teaching them life lessons on how to treat women. Even women too, right? We need to do that. And secondly, females or women need to go for self-defense classes. They should get a taser and a mace. That is allowed. They can do that. But self-defense classes is very necessary. And then we need to do something. The police, they need to go through training on how to spot things like this. All
right, Moyo, before Olamide reads a couple of messages that we've got.
There's some things I live by. I keep saying that there can be no peace if there's no justice. So when people commit crimes like this, they have to be brought to justice. It's going to deter other people. What he said is very valid. What he said is very valid, and I agree with that. That should also be part of the process. But there has to be justice. About 95% of domestic violence cases or rape cases that are reported,
people get away with it.
A lot of people get away with it.
So if these things are enforced, more men will be cautious before they do these things.
There has to be consequences for their actions.
All right, Olamide, you have some messages there from our online listeners.
I've waited my entire life to give just a tip. Just a tip, please, baby, just a tip. Okay, but I'm going to say this. At no fury like a woman's gun. There's a reason why I said I don't think women should be weaponized in any way. There are other safer ways to deal with situations like this. I don't think Nigerians should be weaponized. Male or female will go crazy at it.
Psych evaluation.
However, I'm just going to dive into the social media comments here. We have Ashola. Ashola says, yes, please give us guns. Guns.
That's just scary.
Give us guns, though, especially in this country. We need guns, I beg. Once we are armed, no man can willy us or touch us anyhow. Shola definitely is a lady. Shola, well done. We have Adupe. She says, hey gang, been a while you've hosted. You're such a natural. The guy to your left, Moyo, doesn't look like what he says. It looks like don't come near me. But when he opened his mouth, oh my God, Moyo, I don't know what they're talking about, but you're suspect.
Don't judge a book by its cover, girl. Don't judge a book by its cover. Thank you.
Kunle says, whether or not women should be allowed to carry guns is a complex issue with strong arguments on both sides. Advocates for women carry guns. Advocates for women carrying guns emphasize personal safety and self-defense. I think everybody, male or female, have a right to defend themselves, especially given potential physical disparities between men and women. And it goes on saying, conversely, Concerns are raised about the potential for increased violence and accidents, particularly in cases of domestic disputes. So really, it's a two-way thing, which is still definitely
the fact that they can be disarmed is another thing.
And the final message we have here says, Adayo says, Olamide looks good at the bar. Fine boy. Barman.
All right.
I'm a seven right now.
I would like to let you know that last message was a fake message generated by AI. We do not do such on the show. That was a fake comment, but we appreciate it. And that has been the Black Table. Olamide, give us the tip, and then we'll have our toast of the week.
I just give the tip.
Okay, you just gave the tip.
Yeah.
So your tip is so pip that
we didn't see it coming.
We didn't feel it. We didn't feel it.
Okay, let me give the tip. Okay, I think women generally have a right to protect themselves. But do I think guns should be the solution? No, I don't think guns should be the solution. I think women can be emotional and irrational, and there's nothing wrong with that. God created both genders differently. So it's okay, but I don't think guns should be the solution.
All right.
Well said.
It's a great tip. So I would just like to, our toast for the week, this is the most selfish toast ever.
Let's hear it.
To myself hosting the Black Table tonight.
Oh,
That's
to
right.
gang.
That's
To gang. Hosting the Black Table.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, salute.
I
You have to come this way.
now get off my chair.
All right, we're here every Friday night on the Black Table. It's great always being a part of this, having different people on the show. We highly appreciate you. As Olamide says, the darker the night, the brighter the stars. Stay tuned to TVC Entertainment. We'll catch you guys next week.
It's the International Men's Month, so I'm going to hug you, bro. I'm going to hug you, bro.
Argentina, champions of the world!
All that glitters series. I am father. Allow me to be a part of this girl's life if I leave this world.
Auntie, you do not understand, because if you did, you would not have brought this rapist in here.
Miriam!
This institution will not tolerate insubordination.
My husband is a friend.
Are sleeping with your boss. You don't think that's a bigger deal?
I don't even know how they got to that level. Say something, just, talk to me.
Chief Salami is upset with you for dancing with this girl.
I need you to find every loophole we can use against them.
What exactly do you want? I want everything. Even can chop.
I will chop up your abana, cut up your whatever.
Like this.
This is business.
Are you turning me down?
All that glitters series.
I swear, I don't know what they do get me. Sexual harassment.
You're a useless married man.
I know.
I've brought the prostitute that you brought to my house. I've brought it back for you.
Madam Anna, look, I take exception to that.
Oh, Capita, don't be angry. Can I ask you a question?
I may be CSO.
Capita, did you forget to brush your teeth this morning?
Actually, I mean, follow talk like that.
You don't reach Lagos already.
But the since when I've seen that will come to the course in the up, they have reached the course.
You sent a girl who's only been in Lagos for 1 day to the market.
Do you know someone's going to market myself?
If you come here now, me you come dey do the house girl work. My organ if you just don't say you want train Judas and Iscariot.
What will me I have been come enough for? It's Omugo I came to come and do now. I suddenly saw that you have changed.
Last, if anything happened to Afion, now you, they go carry go kiri.
All signs of time.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.